How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Creepshow Season 1, Episode 6. This is Skincrawlers and By the Silver Water of Lake Champlain. It's from 2019, and this is the Shudder Original television series for Creepshow, and this is also the season finale. There's only 6 episodes in the first season, and maybe for season 2, maybe we'll see more than 6, or maybe they'll keep it, short and sweet and just try to get, everything right. So I don't know. It's gonna be fun to see what happens next. Anyway, this episode is directed by Roxanne Benjamin, who you guys may remember from episode 4. She directed one of those. And also Tom Savini, special effects legend Tom Savini. He also does directing, and he's here too, so that's great to see him, especially for the finale. You get Tom Savini for the finale. How about that? Anyway, there's also some notes for the writing credits of this episode. Paul Dini gets a writing credit. He does primarily animation, but you may know Paul Dini for writing a ton of Batman the Animated Series. He did lots of Batman, lots of DC stuff, and he got a co-creator credit for making Harley Quinn, so that's fun. But also, Joe Hill, the second part of this episode, the second one, By the Silver Waters of Lake Champlain, is one of his short stories. Joe Hill is Stephen King's son, and this came from his new collection, Full Throttle. Of course, it was published a little before that, and probably some other means, but you can find it in the Full Throttle collection now, and that's really cool. Alright, jumping right into the episode. The first story, Skincrawlers. You get this guy, he had been purchasing stuff from a weight loss company, so they pick him to be part of this group, a trial group for this new treatment. You see, they have found this creature that it kind of got isolated somewhere in the world, like a reservoir or something, and it looks a little bit like the Deadly Spawn, little worm with a bunch of teeth. But this creature, it's like a leech-like thing. Looks more like an eel, but acts like a leech. And it will actually suck the fat clean out of you, and it's essentially the most effective and quickest weight loss thing you can imagine, because you go in, the eel sucks your fat out, and then you're thin and healthy, and everything's great. You can kind of just eat whatever you want and just do this one treatment, and you're good to go. But this one guy, he wants to lose weight, but he can't go for that. So he goes away for a while, but then he starts to see, one of the people that was in the treatment with him, saw that she really did lose all the weight, and she says, "Hey, we're gonna do the procedure live on TV. Since you haven't done it yet, come to the TV studio. You can be the patient. We do it on live." So they go to the TV studio, and they're talking a lot. One of their other stories is there's a special solar eclipse out, and you know from the amount they're talking about it that something's gonna go on with the solar eclipse. Now this story, it might be kind of predictable, but at the end of the day, who really cares? This is gonna be kind of like the werewolves one from earlier in this season. We know where it's going, but it's an excuse to have fun with cool creatures. And yeah, you get a really cool finale with things going crazy. Cool creatures. And yeah, it's predictable, but at the end of the day, yeah, who really cares? Just sit back and have some fun with this. The Deadly Spawn-esque creatures gonna wreak havoc again. But anyway, moving on to the next one, By the Silver Waters of Lake Champlain. You get this girl she actually lives in a cabin right off Lake Champlain. Like, she can walk to it. It's right there, a lakeside cabin. But unfortunately for her, her father had died hunting for Champy, the Lake Champlain monster, who most people don't believe is real. It's kind of like a Loch Ness monster type deal. But her father really believed it was real and swore that he saw it. And of course, he went out, he crashed his boat after he saw it the first time, but he recovered. But then, of course, the second time he may not have been so lucky, and now the family is left alone without him, and the mother remarries because she needs someone, but this new guy is kind of a jerk. He's really mean to everyone, really mean to the daughter's boyfriend, getting in his face, picks out his knife and, is calling him Rambo and stuff. So the house is kind of a hostile environment, and the daughter, her boyfriend, her younger brother, kind of getting out of the house, get out of there, and they're going to explore the lake, and, maybe they'll find something in the lake. Now, I don't want to give away too much of what happens, because there is actually kind of a cool reveal that you may not expect in this. It's kind of this fun twist that comes in at about the midway point, and I don't want to spoil that. But that being said, kind of like with the last story, once you see this twist, kind of everything after that, you can take a broad guess and kind of figure out what it is. But it's still a fun story, and it still really works. But yeah, you get to see a Loch Ness monster type story, even though this is technically Champy and not Nessie. But yeah, a Loch Ness monster-esque creature in Lake Champlain. And yeah, it's really fun, you get to see the characters and see what they're doing, but of course, it's going to lead to Champy. And it's fun. It's really cool. And it's also really cool to see Joe Hill back in Creepshow. And yeah, I do want to say back in Creepshow, Joe Hill, more than just his father's connection, because the original Creepshow was Stephen King and George Romero's creation, but Joe Hill is actually involved at the beginning. He played Billy, the little kid from the prologue and the epilogue of Creepshow. He's a little kid that was actually, he had the comic. So yeah, he was in the first one, and he's back. That's kind of a fun thing, that, it's actually one of the people that was involved in the original movie. Now he's writing a story for it, and that's really cool. Overall, this is a fun episode. And maybe it's not the best, but it's still a really good one. And yeah, some of the plot was predictable, but who cares? It was fun to follow and just see these stories play out. Some cool names, Tom Savini, Joe Hill, but still probably not my favorite episodes, but still really good, And I did like this episode, and I'll definitely pick up the DVD whenever it comes out for sale, and I'll be waiting for Season 2 and hoping that it's even longer. I really like this show. It's good to see Creepshow back. It's always good when you're a fan of a franchise to see the franchise still living and more stuff happening with it, and it's staying good, which, because, some of these you're following them, you're like, oh man, this hasn't been good, but it hasn't been good, or there's not too many of them. But to get Creepshow new all the time now, because it's a TV show, and it's good, hey, that's good. So overall, this season was really fun, this finale was really fun, and I can't wait for more. Anyway, that being said, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching, and to everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you as well. You guys are really helping out the channel. Anyway, I do about 95% horror here, so I'll be back with more horror stuff soon. Anyway, I'll see you guys again soon. Have a good day.